Alright, I guess I'm going to go ahead and get this stuff in the electrolysis tank. Get cleaning up on it. It's going to take the paint off too, but it's alright. So we got to get a clean spot for the charger to make contact with it, so I'm going to just buzz off a spot with this wire wheel here. Gosh darn it. That's pretty good. And here's the tank. There's a negative down there. And then I like to grab a little bit of this. That's from a jumper cable. I just think it makes better contact than just a few points on that jaw. So I'm going to get that hooked up to that, fire up the charger, and then drop her in there. Okay, the charger's on. So let's drop this on in there, see if we get some bubbles. And I like to clamp. I'm just going to do it real quick. Bear with me. Yeah, come on. So I clamp that there with that, and then as you can see, we're already getting some bubbling. This is after overnight, so let me see if I can not drop this camera in here. Nice and black looking. So now I'm going to flip it over because you can see some of the paint's already bubbling off of there. Anyways, come on. I'm going to have to deal with this, so I will do that off camera, but you got to have a clear line of sight they call it, between the piece that's getting de-rusted and the sacrificial anode. So if something on the back side can't see the other piece, then it won't work. So you got to put it in facing one direction, then flip it around facing the other direction and go. So okay, it's basically been a day. We got the side that was painted facing the anode. So let's see what it looks like today. Not too bad. Not too bad. So I guess I'm going to set up that wire wheel again, and then we'll... the beauty of this is that when I hit it with the wire wheel, it's very little effort. It buzzes it right down to clean metal. So let me set up the wire wheel again, and then see how it goes. Okay, so here's what we're looking at now. You can already see how clean some of it is, and then the black is I forget what it's called, some kind of oxide something, I don't know. Research electrolysis if you want to actually learn about that. So now let's just see how easy this stuff. The lighting's not great, is it? Here we go. Just pushing real light on it. So you can see that was the painted side, so it strips paint right off. Now let's hit this rusted side and see what we got. So it's almost impossible to do one-handed, so let me just clean this whole thing up and then we'll come back. Okay, here it is after the wire wheeling. That's the part that's going to get painted. That's the inside. I'm not going to paint that because I don't know why. I'm just not going to. It's where the air and everything flows in, so I don't think it needs to be painted. It'll be alright. This is the color I'm actually going to use as well. I think it's a pretty good match for Gravely Red. Now obviously this thing's faded down to a orange, if that, so it's not going to match the existing, but It's better than leaving this to rust, so that's the main reason I'm doing it. So what I like to do is, now that this is all cleaned up with the wire wheel, is wipe it down with a clean rag with some acetone, and then that stuff evaporates really fast, and then hit it with a clean metal primer for this. Let's see all the stuff that's still on it after the wire wheel. Now the wind hasn't been blowing one bit until I start shaking this can up. So that's about how that always goes. Okay, it's probably good, I think, for a primer coat. Alright, it's been about a half hour, so let's hit this thing with some color. It says do 2 light coats followed by 1 medium coat, 10 minutes apart. So, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do that. I don't have enough time. I'm supposed to get this coat within 1 hour of when I put the primer on. So, not enough time to do 3 coats, so I'm just going to do 2. It'll be fine. Like I said before, I'm just doing this for protection. It's not a showpiece. Alright, so this, the hose going from the breather down to the carburetor has this, I don't know if it was in a fire or what. It's pretty messed up. So I just went to the O'Reilly Auto Parts and asked if I could go out back and look through their radiator hoses to see if I could find one that's got a suitable bend, a similar bend in it. And I found this Master Pro 21712 C1712, and it's got a pretty similar. I think it's going to work. It seems to fit pretty decently on there. So I'm going to cut that appropriately and get that hooked up. Okay, and then here's what that looks like afterwards. So that tiny little problem's fixed, and I guess I'll go ahead and get the air filter prepared and go ahead and install that new base and breather. And then when this with this foam pre-filter thing, you just kind of bunch it all up, saturate it with oil, and then squeeze out the excess. I'm not going to be able to do this. Well, let me just try this. Gonna pour some oil on there, and you want it to saturate the entire thing. It's not quite enough. Okay, I think that's enough. Just kind of fully saturate it with oil and then squeeze out the excess. Yeah, that's it. It's pretty good. And then wrap it around your new filter. So that's that. That's how you oil up a foam pre-filter. I think you're supposed to wash it out with dish soap and re-oil it every so many hours. It's probably in the maintenance schedule daily. So